Before we get started, do you have your lights turned off? No, I'm not trying to spook you or anything. It's just that, well, he'd prefer it if you didn't see him yet. Happy Halloween, everyone. Welcome back to Nightmare Fuel. This is the series where we take a look at 5 eerie or disturbing things that I've conjured up per episode, and this one definitely gets creepy. So maybe it's best to turn on those lights. Just don't look behind you. Feels good sometimes to rub your eyes. Go ahead, try it. We'll make this an interactive episode. Feels good to get that gunk out of your eyes and, you get to see some colors every now and again. But what if I told you that behind the lids, under the skin, the eye appears a bit more fragile than you might think it actually is? This MRI depicts what it looks like behind the scenes, if you will, when you rub your eyes. Every time I rub my eyes, I think of this video. It's a grim reminder that the human body, as durable and as fascinating as it is also a frail and weak thing at times. It shows you that our bodies are strange and that the world is stranger. Jim Henson is an entertainer, perhaps most famous for his work as Kermit the Frog and his development of The Muppet Show. Later on, different shows would kind of work with his Muppet creations, and the invention of Sesame Street happened, which is a popular children's show that most of you know and hopefully love. There were some disturbing moments on the show, however, and this one, where a creepy face counts to 10, is one of them.
Now then, a count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. That's 10. Once again, let's count to 10. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
The face is inspired by the character of Nobody, which is actually a character that Jim Henson himself created and played back in the 1960s, to even more creepy effect. You can find YouTube videos of it online, but suffice it to say, despite how cool and ingenuic the character is, the puppet design and the way it sings in kind of this random ether is creepy. It wouldn't be Halloween without a good old-fashioned witch. Well, not exactly. I don't think this witch flies on a broomstick or has a green face, but I do think that this clip from Saudi Arabia is maybe more disturbing than something you would see in, say, The Wizard of Oz. There's very little known about this clip, and from what I could find, it's a pretty reliable video. I think what makes it all the more realistic is the reaction from both people filming this strange woman. She's not doing anything out of the ordinary per se. In fact, she's not even threatening them, which I think adds to the validity of the video. It's just creepy, the fact that this lone woman is out in the middle of the woods and seems to be following or tracking these two people trying to get away from her. Christian Montenegro is a man who unfortunately had a pretty rough breakup when his girlfriend left him. However, his response to this breakup is something of much discussion and notoriety online and on TikTok. He decided to marry and have children with dolls. These dolls are very creepy. I don't know why anyone would choose to marry a doll, and I can only chalk it up to mental illness. There are some people online claiming or saying that the dolls are possessed, and I don't fully buy it. At any rate, I think the fact that this man said that not only he married a doll, but claimed it to be pregnant, giving birth to more doll children, is just straight up weird. I can't help but feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, he needs serious help, and watching this unfold is kind of a tragic, creepy situation. And finally, we end with a selection from the Monument mythos with Mount Rushmore's Revenge. This is a series on YouTube that is in the found footage style, maybe similar to The Backrooms, if you know of that, where the documentation follows a variety of different landmarks and historical places, only with creepy twists to ensue. This particular installment features Mount Rushmore, only for it to behave differently than it should. At the beginning of the tape, you can tell that Mount Rushmore was vandalized, and it seems that the creators of this series have objections to the way that America was founded on Native American land. I think regardless of that controversy, the premise has been tried and true in the horror genre, especially with Indian burial grounds and places that have been sacred at one time only to be taken over by the white man. The way that the monument seems to move, how its eyes shift, and eventually how the faces of the US presidents disappear is really creepy. I don't think anyone assumes this footage to be legitimate, but even as a fictional display, it is very disturbing. Thank you once again for watching another installment of Nightmare Fuel. I want to do this show more, it's just difficult to get around to it, and I always want to include it in my Halloween lineup, so I appreciate your patience, especially for those of you who are waiting for a new installment. I will try to get more out to you soon. Thank you so much for watching, and happy Halloween. Remember, for all things Halloween, this is Hauntformer.